It's not just a blunder, it's not an unfortunate bureaucratic oversight. The leak at the Ministry of Defence's spreadsheet stuff containing the identities of 25,000 Afghans who worked with British forces is one of the most serious breaches of operational security in modern British history. It's put lives at risk, it's undermined our intelligence assets, it's endangered our national credibility, and exposed the moral rot in the culture of responsibility avoidance at the top of government and military command. This spreadsheet was not an idle document, it was in effect a kill list. It named Afghan translators, military allies, special forces collaborators and their families, people who had risked everything to stand with the United Kingdom during the Afghanistan campaign. They were promised protection. What they received was betrayal. And the document was sent in error twice to the very people it was meant to protect, and it was then swept under the legal carpet with a super injunction so secret that journalists were banned from mentioning the injunction itself. This was not about national security, it was about national embarrassment, and the fallout has been profound. Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, now is actively hunting for names on the list, seeking leverage in upcoming nuclear talks with Britain and its allies. The Taliban has used the leak to hunt down those still inside Afghanistan and has already ordered arrests. At least one man has been deported from Iran to Afghanistan in recent weeks. He's now in hiding in fear for his life. British intelligence assets, including members of MI6 and the Special Forces, were also compromised. In total, up to 100,000 individuals may be at risk, including families, yet only around 6,900 have so far been resettled in the UK. The cost of relocating these people now sits at around £850 million and rising, and the total long-term cost of the fallout is projected to be around about £7 billion. And what has the government done? The Permanent Secretary, David Williams, has announced his departure. He will be replaced. That is not responsibility, that is quiet rotation. General Sir Gwyn Jenkins, the Director of Special Forces at the time, was asked at the first Cobra meeting whether he would resign. He said he would not, and he didn't. Admiral Sir Tony Radakin, the Chief of the Defence Staff, has stayed firmly in post despite being directly responsible for oversight of the military apparatus that enabled the breach. Neither Rishi Sunak nor James Cleverly attended the earliest crisis meetings. This was treated as a civil service headache, not a national emergency. And now, Sir Gwyn Jenkins is the first Sea Lord, David Williams gets a graceful exit, Radakin continues as if nothing has happened. This is not accountability, this is cowardice, it's a disgrace, masquerading as continuity. So let's not mince words. This episode has shredded Britain's reputation with allies and with those who might one day assist us. Why would any local partner trust Britain again in a future conflict? The soldiers left behind, translators now on the run, wives and children living under threat. These are not expendable collateral. These are our former allies, and the fact that ministers and officials initially argued they need not be helped because they were previously rejected under the ARAP is a disgrace. Once the data breach occurred, everyone on that list became our responsibility. It's not just a technical failure, it's a moral one. The British state promised protection, it has delivered trauma, it has delivered chaos, it has delivered death. So we need to remember this data leak didn't merely expose those who helped us, it also exposed the culture of evasion in Whitehall. The legal gagging orders, the classified meetings, the minimal evacuation numbers, all were designed to cover up failure, not to protect life. Anne-Marie Trevelyan was right to call for resignations. Jenkins and Radakin must go. They cannot preside over this failure and simultaneously claim to defend British honour and security. Labour, now in government, must go further than platitudes. David Lammy must address the Iranian threat. John Healey must confront the MOD institutional failings. The bleatings of Farage that we have let in people who should never normally have been let in. Everyone on that list should be let in. Everyone on that list we have endangered should be let in. It's an outrage that Farage uses this as some sort of leverage against the migration mess which has been created by the last government and this government because they haven't had the honour and the wisdom to call an international conference to revise the terms of the 1951 Refugee Convention. There must be a proper independent inquiry with powers to summon all relevant individuals from Special Forces Command to Cabinet Office. This isn't the stuff of a quiet resignation and a few red-faced statements to the Select Committee. This is the collapse of trust between government and those it sent into war on our behalf. If we do not act, then we are not only failing those betrayed Afghans, but we are signalling to the world that Britain no longer stands by its friends, that mistakes can be covered up in silence, and that no one ever truly pays the price. This was a monumental betrayal, and it demands justice, not in the form of compensation alone, but in the form of accountability, truth, and resignations at the very top.